When I was home recently, I met with the agents leading the Tampa office of the FBI, and I saw what they're focused on in my community: stopping drug traffickers, rescuing children from exploitation, fighting cybercrime, protecting us from acts of terrorism, foreign and domestic. And I know from my time as a federal prosecutor and a judge that this work by the Bureau doesn't make headlines, but it is happening every single day. At the top, accountability is necessary, transparency is critical, but today we've seen an effort not just to diminish, but to distort the work of Director Patel and the agents he leads. If we really care about transparency and about truth, then what we owe to the American people is this reality: that thousands of dedicated professionals at the FBI wake up every single day thinking not about themselves, but about this country, and keeping every single one of us and our children safe from harm. And Director Patel, I would like to hear from you the facts about what the FBI is doing and your efforts to fight crime. Director Patel, isn't it correct that since January 20th, 2025, the FBI has made over 25,000 immigration-related arrests, including 350 members of Tren de Aragua and 195 members of MS-13?
Those numbers are accurate. The Tren de Aragua numbers are up over 350% from the year before.
And during that same period, hasn't the FBI seized over 66,000 kilos of cocaine, 6,000 kilos of meth, and 1,500 kilos of fentanyl?
Not to be nitpicky, but it's 89,000 kilos of cocaine and 7,300 kilograms of meth.
And isn't it also true that the FBI Tampa Division's Panama Express Strike Force specifically seized nearly 67,000 kilos of cocaine valued at more than $1.6 billion from illicit maritime vessels?
One of our best operations out of the Port of Tampa, and I was down there in South Florida when Panex did their work.
Director Patel, since October 7th, 2023 Hamas attack, the FBI has been a co-leader of the Joint Task Force October 7th. Isn't it correct that this task force is actively working to bring justice for victims and to prevent terrorist infiltration at our borders?
Yes, ma'am.
Since January 20th, hasn't the FBI arrested 59 foreign intelligence operatives for spying or smuggling dangerous material into the United States?
Yes, we have, and that's on track to be more than 25% than ever before.
And the FBI has also been leading operations against major cyber threat actors, including those from Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea. Isn't that right?
A 17% increase from year to date last year.
Director Patel, the FBI's child exploitation task forces continue to investigate predators who target children online and across our communities. How significant is that threat today, and what results have you seen under your tenure in bringing these offenders to justice?
We have, under Operation Grayskull, dismantled dark web units that are operating online, not just in the United States, but across the world, to do our children harm. We have taken into custody more suspects than ever before on those who seek to harm our children. That is what the men and women of the FBI do, and that's what they're going to continue to do. Those are the real results when you let good cops be cops, and when you let us get on these platforms and expose them to the public and show them the harms of these predators on these online gaming systems and social media systems. And we need more help from Congress to allow us more authorities to do that work.
The FBI laboratory manages the Combined DNA Index System, or CODIS, which compares over 25 million DNA profiles and aids more than 125 investigations each day. Director Patel, why is this important to law enforcement nationwide?
All of law enforcement relies on our CJIS operation out of West Virginia. And what that does is allow 19,000 agencies to come in and say, hey, does this guy have a criminal history? Hey, is this an illegal firearm? Do we have a DNA hit like we did in these recent assassinations? That's what the FBI brings to bear, because local and state law enforcement agencies just don't have that capability, and we're doing it 24/7, 365. CJIS does not close for 1 minute.
In your testimony, you noted that the FBI has ongoing counterintelligence investigations into China, Iran, and Russia across all 55 field offices. Why is it essential to maintain that scope of coverage, and what success can you point to in disrupting nation-state actors?
Our biggest threats involving nation-state actors are the PRC, Russia, and China, and they are up 33%, 83%, and 60% respectively in arrest alone this year. Those nation-state actors wish to do harm in our infrastructure, our critical infrastructure infrastructure system, our energy, our water supply, and also go after and target individuals and senior citizens and take their money through online pig butchering schemes, which we've exposed in Cambodia by way of the CCP. This is groundbreaking work that the American public should be seeing that their FBI is doing, and I'm happy to have the opportunity to report on it.
Thank you, Director Patel. I yield back.
At a House Judiciary Committee hearing on Wednesday, Representative Laurel Lee, Republican Florida, questioned FBI Director Kash Patel about the scope of the Bureau's counterintelligence investigations and its broader work against threats to the United States. Lee began by noting her recent visit to the FBI's Tampa office, where agents are working daily to stop drug traffickers, rescue children from exploitation, fight cybercrime, and protect communities from terrorism. Drawing from her own experience as a federal prosecutor and judge, she emphasized that much of this work never makes headlines but is vital for public safety. She cautioned that while accountability and transparency are necessary, there has been an effort to distort the work of the FBI and its leadership. Director Patel confirmed that since January 20, 2025, the FBI has made more than 25,000 immigration-related arrests, including 350 members of Tren de Aragua and 195 members of MS-13. He clarified that the Bureau seized 89,000 kilos of cocaine, 7,300 kilos of methamphetamine, and 500 kilos of fentanyl during the same period. Patel highlighted one of the Tampa Division's most successful operations, in which its Panama Express strike force intercepted nearly 67,000 kilos of cocaine, valued at over $1.6 billion, from illicit maritime vessels. The discussion also touched on the FBI's counterterrorism work following Hamas's October 7, 2023 attack. Patel explained that the Bureau co-leads the Joint Task Force October 7, which focuses on securing justice for victims and preventing terrorist infiltration at U.S. borders. Since January 2025, the FBI has also arrested 59 foreign intelligence operatives for spying or smuggling dangerous material, a figure on track to surpass records by more than 25%. Lee pressed Patel on cyber threats, and he reported a 17% increase in operations targeting actors from Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea. He also described the FBI's child exploitation task forces, particularly Operation Grayskull, which dismantled dark web groups targeting children worldwide. These efforts have led to record numbers of offenders being taken into custody. Patel further highlighted the FBI's use of the Combined DNA Index System, CODIS, which contains over 25 million profiles and supports more than 125 investigations every day. He explained that this resource allows 19,000 law enforcement agencies to access criminal history, illegal firearm tracking, and DNA matches around the clock. When asked about the Bureau's counterintelligence priorities, Patel said the FBI maintains active investigations into China, Russia, and Iran across all 55 field offices. Arrests tied to these nation-state actors are sharply up, 33% for China, 83% for Russia, and 60% for Iran. He warned that these actors pose threats to critical infrastructure, including energy and water supplies, while also targeting U.S. citizens through online financial scams such as pig butchering schemes. He pointed to recent FBI work exposing Chinese-linked operations in Cambodia that targeted vulnerable Americans, including seniors. Patel closed by stressing that these successes reflect the daily work of thousands of FBI agents and staff who focus on keeping the country safe, often without recognition.